Yo, what's up, team? Your boys are back in the building, bring you guys another episode of Retro Rewind.
Yes, sir.
If you guys don't know who I am, my name is J3.
I'm Ronin Shogun, the Ninja Assassin.
Wah! What's good, man?
Man, I'm excited, man. Movie talk. Old
I
school.
love doing movie
this
talk.
This is what we
man.
do.
I love it.
Yeah,
it's like the break room after school, just sitting outside the front house on the porch.
Yeah.
With a freaking piece of straw in your mouth. You know what I mean?
You know, kid stuff.
You know what I mean? Yeah. This is things we grew up on. I love doing this. Before we get into this, let me explain what Retro Rewind is. Retro Rewind is when we dive deep into an old film and we talk about the good, the bad, and we like to talk about the scenes and the funny. We just basically just talk about the movie on a barbershop tip. You know, after school. You know that. Remember that Monday after a movie premieres in school on Friday? You go to, not on school on Friday, but you go to theaters on Friday, and then you have to wait all the way to Monday to talk to your friends early that morning about what you watched.
Yep.
Retro Rewind.
Television, same thing.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Man, it was great. You see it? It was dope. I loved it. Today, we're entering the new world of horror.
Yeah.
On J3 Entertainment. We're talking about slashers.
Slashers, man.
Slashers.
This is a genre that was around 70s, 60s, and 80s, and then kind of disappeared in the 90s. Scream is the movie today, and this is the genre that resurrected and brought it back full circle. And
before we get in that, I gotta let y'all know, before today, I've never watched Scream before. I never watched it. My bad.
I'm really excited now.
So this is my first take on it.
This is tight.
And
so it's like this, you went to the theater and just saw it.
I went to the theater and saw it for the first time.
That's dope.
Forgive me, but you know, there's a lot of stuff. I mean, I watch a lot of things, man, and there's just some stuff you just don't watch. And granted, this is probably one of those movies that like, how could you call yourself a movie guy and you never watched it? But you can say that about a lot of films.
That's what it's about.
It's all about. But man, you know, sometimes you got to get in there and you get it when you fit in and you start.
So you got a really fresh take on it.
Real fresh take.
That's dope. Okay,
real fresh take.
It's gonna be tight.
I was watching white women scream. I'm watching
now
it.
You know where the iconic Scream came from.
You feel me?
Yeah, because it's that one way they do it, and Scream had kind of put that new spin on it.
So this is your genre, man.
This is my genre, man. So the movie came out in '96, man, and this was around the time where I started to really discover that
myself.
I started to really understand that I wanted to see more stuff like this.
Yeah,
because I wasn't really a horror fan like that at the time. I was watching it, and at that kid point of view, I was watching something that I shouldn't have been watching.
Yeah.
But at the end, I was glad I did, and I was trying to find more. And you know, I had cable, so I had access to all this stuff. I didn't have that. So it was really dope, man. And I had my own box and everything in the room, so I was able to find some stuff. And my cousin actually made the mistake of like introducing me to this. She punked me, told me we was gonna be watching a Disney movie. I was like, I ain't never heard of Ghostface. I ain't never seen him in the Magic Castle. What the fuck is this? Calling people and stuff, man. After I watched the movie, I was like, man, disconnect all these telephones, man. Like, this is crazy.
You were scared?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
The movie did its job. I said, I want to see more of this.
I want to be scared again.
That point, I was like, yeah, I need to know. And then the year later, part 2 came out. I told my cousin, I said, you taking me, right? She said, yeah. So I never looked back there after that. That was it for me. Scream kind of opened the door for me.
That's dope. You got a memory out of this film.
Yeah.
That's really dope. That makes it special.
The stars being sitcoms, I was in love with Neve Campbell and Courtney Cox, so they're gonna be in it too.
I love Neve Campbell's freckles. She's hot.
Man,
she's hot.
Yeah, so I got a lot of experience with Scream. It's a love relationship with this movie, man. This movie's great.
This was a
rest in peace, Wes Craven, man.
Yeah.
He changed the genre forever.
It's funny because he did it like in 2 decades.
Yo,
he changed it twice.
In the '70s too. Like he was doing made-for-television movies. Like he did like home invasion movies, like cult thrillers. He did the original Hills Have Eyes, and then the shit got remade decades later. So he did it back in the '70s.
Right. We need to get on that too.
So he's very well rounded. And like he had the '70s, '80s, and '90s on lock, and then 2000s he was doing stuff right up until his sad passing. You know what I'm saying? He did thrillers. Mm-hmm. He did it all, bro. Like he was just, his mind was everywhere.
Yeah, I'm gonna give we'll talk about him a little bit. Yeah. So let's get right into it, man. Let's talk about. I think we should start with the bad.
I'm gonna let you go first on this.
Start with the bad, and then we go into the good, and then we just dive deep. In the rest of this film.
I'm gonna let you get the bad first, because honestly, I really don't have any. And if I do, it's gonna be nitpicking. I'm just being honest. I'm being straight up honest.
Okay, so
because there is some, but I've yet to see it.
All right. So I'm gonna be non-biased on this.
All right, for sure.
I'm going to take out the time factor.
Okay.
because it's retro rewind.
Okay.
You got to remember where these films took place.
Yeah.
This is the 90s.
Yeah.
So I'm going to take out the bad hairstyles.
All right.
I'm going to take that out because Drew Barrymore's hairstyle was weak. I'm going to take out the outlandish white boys. All that. I'm going to take that out.
All right, sure.
I'm going to take it out.
Yeah.
Because this is overacting.
Yeah.
I'm going to take that out of this. I'm going to talk about the bad. Okay. With that said, things I did not like about this movie. This is the God honest truth.
I'm sure.
I could not understand how clumsy Ghostface was.
Okay.
I just didn't like that. I'm like, you suck as a killer. Like, what's going on? You keep tripping. You keep falling. Why? And then I thought to myself, maybe because it's a comedy to a degree. It's a joke. You know, kids trying to be killers or trying to kill kids or whatever. I just didn't understand how goofy he was as a murderer. That's something I didn't like, but I understood. I'm stretching it right now, y'all, because I really enjoyed the movie. Because I understand what horror movies, slashers stand for. The cliche, stupid girl doing dumb shit. Like, for instance, scene. Drew Barrymore has a freaking brick of a phone in her hand and she's going, ah, instead of launching that bitch so somebody can hear it.
Yeah.
Why would you do that? But I understand. So that's kind of nitpicking because that's the point. It's hard to really, honestly,
this shit is self-aware. It is. Yeah, that's what it was.
It's really hard.
It's meta. It broke the ice. Like,
for me to really find.
We know this. We want you to know that we know it, but guess what? Okay.
It's hard.
That's what it was.
It's hard to really nitpick it because it is what it is.
Those are good points, though. Yeah.
So things like that, the cliche factor, but I honestly enjoy. Yeah, I'll talk about the things I like. Cause one of the things, yeah, I like the movie, bro. I'm just being honest. I like Scream. I hate the fact that I didn't see it as a kid, but I'm kind of glad I didn't because I probably would have been scared like you.
Yeah.
Cause I'd be damn somebody call me, hey, you want to play a game? Like, you know what I mean? Like, yo, no.
It was iconic.
You know what I'm saying?
That boy, like that dude was dope.
This is probably one of the best. Like,
if that didn't work, that could have made or break the movie. If the caller didn't work. Because that's the center of the film. That updated
the horror area for the 90s.
Yes.
It updated it. Oh, we're using phones now.
Because that too, and you have somebody, this goes into the positives.
So are we leaving the negatives? Do you have anything?
Well, I had to counter what you said.
Go. Okay.
So, but it's still on you though. But I wanted to go into that because it kind of factors into the positives. It was a killer, like you said, using the phone technologies. But he had a knowledge of horror movies. He took that obsession and went the extra mile with it and was studying films.
Hold on, because I want to talk about that.
That's it.
Oh, shoot. Yeah. All right. Do you have anything you do not like about this movie?
No.
Okay, one more.
That's why I said go back to you. That's all I wanted to get in there. I had to counter
because that shit was tight.
Yeah.
All right, because that's what made me like really like yo.
Yeah.
Okay. See,
that's why I let him go first, y'all, because I have nothing negative, and I'm telling you the truth.
So what I did not like was the ignorance of the town to a degree.
Okay.
Very stupid. The parents, very dumb.
White.
Like, just stupid. Yeah. Like, what are we doing? This is dumb. There's a killer out here, and like the one scene with what's his name? The principal.
Oh,
Harry Winkler.
Fonzie.
Yeah. So you clear your class out. You clear the whole class out, and the school, and you're the only one there. Like the staff, everybody just got the out of there.
Yeah.
Except for Wes Craven.
Yeah.
Like, it made no sense. Like, yo, all right, everybody get out of school. He's the only one there. Like, it's stuff like that was very cliche.
Yeah.
But it it's horror movies, man. So I expect to see it, and if I don't see it, then I'm gonna be mad. Like, where was the cliche bullshit at? You know what I mean? Because that's what horror movies are based off.
And this is the movie that actually made it possible and made the shit aware.
Yeah,
they talked about it.
Yeah.
And they made the audience laugh with it.
Yeah. All right, so that's when I'm done. I nicked a little bit, try to find something. Let's get into this positive, man.
All right. You want to go?
I'll go. Yeah. It's my first time. First time.
That's what.
All right.
First time seeing the movie.
The best part of this movie for me was the mother freaking story.
Okay.
God damn, that plot was dope at the end.
Yeah.
That shit unraveled like a brilliance.
Yeah.
Brilliance. I was like, this right here.
Yeah.
This is how you write a fucking horror movie.
Yeah.
That's a great the whole build of the characters.
Yep.
Why they killing, the knowledge of the films.
Yes.
And I'm gonna let you do your thing, but just break it. The knowledge of the films, the killing, the motive.
Right.
It was a freaking motive of why.
Yeah.
And it was dope.
Crazy. Yeah.
Brilliant. I love the story. I've never seen a horror movie with such a great thought out plot and plan. They're usually just like, there's a monster, this guy's a killer, he's crazy for no reason, yada yada yada. But knowing that someone could be nice one day and then lose everything and just their motive just changes. Thought that was phenomenal.
It's an idea, yeah.
And then the whole, man, that shit was real. Go ahead, man.
So I will say, first off, the setup for me I thought was really fire because, again, me like not knowing about it as a youngster, just going into it, and then my knowledge of it now, I have an even bigger appreciation for it. But this is something that I've watched like constantly, repeatedly, so I know this movie like the back of my head.
Yeah.
And the opening scene for me was the icebreaker, because it was like, oh shit, slasher is back. And for a minute, you think like you know the rules and like the horror genre. You think like
good word, rules.
A big name star. Oh, she's gonna live, right? And Drew Barrymore was big at the time. She died in the opening first act. I was like, yo. And it was like, no, they broke the rule.
Yeah.
And got away with it. And then the movie just continued. I'm like, yo, that was just the intro? Okay. Perfect setup. And then the whole thing with the guy, because we really didn't know who it was. It was just a voice on the phone. Shout out to the actor that does the voice, Roger Jackson. He's fired. That whole setup of this cat and mouse game, because he found pleasure in getting people that really didn't know horror like they thought they did. And he was keeping tabs on people like, oh shoot, so you trying to play me? Oh, I know what's up.
Don't you ever hang the phone up on me?
Yeah.
Like, what the frick? This guy up out of here, brother.
So I love the whole back and forth banter. And it sounds absurd, but it's realistic at the same time, because I'm not going to try to come after you.
He was the first Jigsaw.
I'm going to play a game. Yeah.
He was like, the first Jigsaw, bro.
But he was of the time. And these are young guys doing this, though. It was very tricky, because you're trying to figure out as to what's really happening. And is this guy really crazy, or is it really just a prank? You don't know. And then it just kept unraveling and unraveling. And it had the typical horror setup. So you're learning the universe of what's happening. And then they're letting you know, okay, this is obviously self-aware. But the first act hits hard, because we don't know exactly what's going on until the phone call happens. And when it happens, you're like, oh shit, so this guy really is a maniac. And we still don't know who the killer is. So it's all mystery up until this point. But so many surprises happen, you're still just trying to grasp what the freak is going on.
Yeah.
But that intro was fire.
Intro's fire.
So the whole thing of the way Wes Craven directed it was to let you know that over the decades, he had to win the audience back, because he himself said that he felt like he was getting soft as a director.
Wow.
And he made this return and made something
deleted
new.
Footage.
And he made it fresh. He made it like really fresh again, and took somebody who loved the genre and made a villain out of that, but also made it fun, gave you a whodunit mystery, but also gave you cat and mouse, and then he gave you satire. The movie addresses everything that's going on with the fourth wall breaking. It's very meta. It's all real time. And then you got these good looking heartthrob things of the 90s. So it's very much, you got all these different things that are attracting the audience, but you're still trying to figure out, all right, There's still story. There's still mystery. We still don't know what's going on because we're still trying to grasp everything that's happening. There's so many surprises everywhere. Whether it's the writing, the cast, the directing, the villain, everything kind of came full circle. And it was like, wow, you can do this?
Yeah.
You can acknowledge what's happening? And there's rules to the formula? Like, this is dope. This laid the groundwork for everything that we gotten after.
And
there's rules to this shit. And if you break them, you'll die. I love it.
It's funny you say that because one of the things that really intrigued me in this film is the simple fact that there was no black people. He was like, I'm not even gonna do the whole black people thing. Nah, I'm good. Just make this a small town of suburban. Mayberry. You know what I mean? Because he gave you Doofy.
Yeah.
A dummy, idiot cop that wants to be something bigger than ever.
It's funny because he ends up becoming the most iconic out of the series.
Right?
Yeah.
So,
but you see where he comes from, and I like how he played it.
He's a joke. You know what I mean? His mom and sister don't really respect him. You know what I'm saying? Doofy, shut up, Doofy. When you know I'm a cop, and
mom says when I wear this badge, you treat me like the law.
Like it's funny, like
hilarious.
They play, but at the same time, it's serious.
Right. I love that. It's yin and yang.
It's yin and yang. And he played the character developing is iconic because, like you said, it is a whodunit movie. Because while watching it, I'm like, yo, I think Doofy might be the killer.
A lot of people thought that. Because
the whole bedroom thing, right? So I'm like, but he wouldn't kill his sister, would he?
Right.
She did bully him. But then I also thought, I did think, I was like, yo, you know what? I think it's more than one killer. Okay. Because I was like, and I was like, it has to be, because then I thought Jamie Kennedy, because he knew nothing but horror movies.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, maybe he wants to get the ex-boyfriend out the way so he can get with her because he was infatuated with her.
Interesting. Okay.
So I was like,
those are good clues though.
I was like, yo, maybe it's Jamie Kennedy that did it. And
that's my boy. He's my favorite character.
And then it was like, no, he didn't.
Yeah.
But then I thought maybe they were doing the guess who, and we all injure each other to make it look like we didn't do it. But they end up start doing it at the end of the movie.
Right.
But then Jamie Kennedy wasn't involved because he got shot.
Right.
But was he really like it? He
was there to set up the party and stuff. Like he worked at it.
Yeah. But that's what I'm saying. Like it was crazy seeing that because it really it's a phenomenal roller coaster.
Yeah.
From beginning to end, because there's really no stale moments because you're trying to figure out why Sydney is so closed in. You end up figuring it out, to a degree.
And her family's got a history.
Right? And then you find out the history. Oh my God, that shit was dope.
Yeah.
The story is dope for a horror movie.
Yeah. They took the time to really give detail to everything.
This is a good story.
Yeah.
Like this could have been a great TV series if you ask me. Like,
ironic.
What?
There is one.
Word?
MTV.
Was it good though?
Season 3 we won't talk about, but season 1 and 2 are fire.
Tight. Because the way the town had history.
This guy gets it.
Like because just the way it was.
Yeah.
I wore the wrong shirt, right?
But you still get it though.
Or wrong shirt, right? So, but it was like
that's tight.
Just watching it,
was
like, okay, this is dope right here, man. Because the whole background from the moms and her mysteriously getting killed, and then the way the daughter is closed in,
it always starts with the family.
The dad is on something, but that's all we really get.
Right.
And then she hates the news reporter, and because the news reporter says somebody didn't do it, and she's like, he did, but then she backtracked her.
She backtracked without,
you know what I'm saying? And you understood that she was a kid. You know what I mean? Great acting when it comes to that. Like, like this is good for a horror movie to have. Besides the 90s feel, if it really felt like a Buffy the Vampire Slayer, Veronica Mars movie. You know what I mean?
Wow, around the same time.
Yeah. It felt, you know what I mean, in that area. Like, you know what I mean? And honestly, I think, that would have been something crazy to see if Kristen Bell was in this movie. You know what I mean? Freaking Veronica Mars.
Oh, yeah.
She would have figured out everything at the end of the movie. But
it's ironic you said that too.
Why? She's in the show?
No, she's in one of the movies.
Oh, okay.
See, we gotta get there. This is like he saw the future. Like this. No,
I never seen it, man.
She's in there
because it just these the actors, man. Like they fit that.
We'll get to the Scream
series. Was Freddie Prinze Jr. one of them?
I know what you do.
Okay, cool. Yeah. Close enough.
Yeah. 90s though. It was all around the same time.
Oh shoot! All right,
all the TV stars. They was all getting that work.
Yeah. So
Ryan Philippe, all of them, bro.
So you know, it's just the way that whole area filled in the void, man. It was nonstop thrilling, nonstop action, and you were always trying to figure out what's going on next. That's what I really loved about the story and the acting, because usually when you see these type of movies, they have bad acting. Granted, one of the characters was a little over the top, you know, the boyfriend with the tongue and shit, you know, he was a little over the top. He was really pushing it, but I understood that was the timeline. That's what the character was supposed to be.
To make him look innocent.
Yeah. He's just a wild card boy, you know what I'm saying? Whatever. But in the nonchalant of the murders. And it's funny because when you find out the ending, you should have kind of caught up on how nonchalant he was about the murders. He was really cracking jokes about it and not really giving 2 cents about it. Kind of like a murderer would do. It's like they did set breadcrumbs throughout the film to lead up to the final act, and you kind of get it. And I really dug that in this movie, man. I really enjoyed that part.
I will say another thing that I really enjoyed, I love the changes to the rules and how they acknowledge the playing field of what was going on.
Yeah.
And I feel like this is like a perfect gateway for those that would never watch something like this. Mm-hmm. Because even if you weren't a horror fan, you had elements of comedy, you had whodunit, you had mystery in there, you had suspense, and you had stars that people wanted to see at the time. They were hot at the time, and they're still around, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
so this was a great gateway for those that wanted to know more about the horror genre and get knowledge on it, because the director Wes Craven really reinvented the genre, and then you had the writer Kevin Williamson, who really was knowledgeable about the genre as well. You could see it in the dialogue within the characters. You have the guy Randy in there, Jim McKinney, who was kind of the human encyclopedia.
Oh yes,
even the bad guy.
He was you.
He was me, just white.
Yep.
Yeah. So man, remake put me in there. I would love to play that character. But yeah, bro, like, I appreciated that.
He was in The Purge.
Oh yeah. Man, I'll be getting all kind of work. I forget sometimes. And Doom Patrol. Check me out on HBO Max.
Hey, man. Look just like
that really is me,
man.
Bro. I like that show too. That. But yeah, man, I love the information factor that they gave through the entertainment value. I thought that was really.
I felt it was needed because
it took time and they gave you stuff. And if you are a fan of this, it was like a game for you. You would just catch stuff and you would catch information. And then for those that was new, it'd be like, oh, I need to know more about that, or I don't know what it is or exactly what's happening. So it was fresh to the person that came in, seeing it.
Yeah.
But the fan that was there was like, oh, okay, oh, all right.
I know exactly what's finna go down.
Yeah, so it was fire in that sense. And it was like the writer was speaking to the horror genre fans, like, okay, we're back. But you think you know the slasher genre? Think again.
Yeah, because we're about to turn it another notch up.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
It was very fascinating in that sense.
Most definitely. What I also liked too was the idea of Ghostface. You never seen a slasher like this guy before.
Never.
You know what I'm saying? And granted, you know, what makes it really interesting is Ghostface could never die. He's immortal, and I love that. Because he can always come, because all you gotta do is put the mask on and you become Ghostface. And all you gotta do is know the playing field of Ghostface and you become him.
Anybody can pick up the mantle.
You can.
That's the crazy part. Anybody can pick up.
And that's what I love about it.
Yeah.
How to catch a Ghostface. I love that. That's what really makes it very unique and in its own manner. I really enjoyed the movie, man. I had fun watching it, man. I ain't gonna lie. I laughed. I was in it. I was like, oh shoot, oh snap. You know what I mean? What else you got? Because I gotta talk about these scenes, man.
All right, yeah, for sure. So I'm an easy one. I like the music in this movie because we got a new theme for a new horror icon, Ghostface, man. Marco Beltrami, really underrated composer. He was able to bring something new because we had the Freddys, we had the Jasons and the Michaels and Leatherface, stuff like that. He came in, made new iconic symphonies, and made a new iconic theme for a new iconic character that was on the scene, Ghostface, man. I thought the music was very impactful. In fact, it was used and recycled for other movies for Miramax and Dimension because they had the rights to the music and things like that.
Yeah.
So it was really great, and I really liked the whole new themes and stuff like that because you have to think about a composer that is not really fond of horror movies but was able to make it scary because of his personal experiences of not liking horror movies. So he was able to create tension with his cues and his symphonies. And here we are, and he's still around with the Scream franchise. Like, this is impactful, man.
Real talk.
I love the music in the movies.
Okay. There's a lot of good, very minimum bad. In fact, I don't think it's really no bad. I think the movie actually holds up. It has a great. It's a good movie, well directed. Before I get into the scenes, let's talk about Wes Craven.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I think Wes Craven really did his thing in this movie, man. You know what I'm saying? I love the whole way he, like you said, how you put it together.
Yeah.
And then I also love the fact that the movie paid homage to horror movies. Like he even named his movies.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like he dissected it for the audience to understand what you were finna get.
Right.
And then he shows up in the movie. His name is Fred with the Freddy Krueger shirt on.
Right. That was dope.
Like, he played with us.
Yeah.
And you could tell in this movie, it was not just a slasher film for him. It was, like you said, a resurrection.
Yeah. And
he wanted to make sure people understood and see who he is. Who's this guy? And I really admire that about him in this movie. I love the fact that he was talking about Halloween, you know, Jason, Pinhead and stuff. Like, he was talking about these villains
Prom Night
or monster flicks, you know what I mean, slasher movies.
Yeah.
And that was dope. It honestly made the movie feel like, and this is what I really like about this. And what Wes Craven did, he made the movie feel literally like a realistic movie. He made it feel like they were in our world.
Right.
He made it feel like based on a true story.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like that's hard to do in a horror movie.
Right.
And someone like Ghostface can really happen in real life.
Facts.
He brought this world to he made me feel like this could really happen. And that's really something, because you think about it, especially as a child. If you're young and you watch this movie, I can see why you'd be scared of Ghostface, because anybody could be Ghostface. He's an immortal.
Yep.
He's not demonic.
Not at all.
Just a person with a freaking mask on. You what's his weakness? You have to either kill him, like with a gun, weapon, something to stop him, run him over, or something like that. But if you're a child, you're useless.
Don't know. Yeah.
You're gonna die now. You know, Freddy, Jason, that kind of stuff. You can, you can be very religious and things like that, and throw some holy water on them, and that kind of deal. But Ghostface is like, yo, it could be 5 Ghostface in the room.
It could be, exactly.
You're like, oh shoot, which one do I get? You know what I mean? And and Wes Craven really brought that to life, man. He really did his thing on that movie. Man.
I think it was really strong in the strengths of the phone call scenes. I like the setup with different arcs, because there's a lot of story arcs in this movie with Sydney and her family, her mom and dad, and the relationship between her and her boyfriend. Then you got the Randy story, who's explaining to the audience what's happening
at the end,
and what not to do. And then you got the boyfriend's story and their arcs and what they're doing. Them just being like regular, whacked out weirdos and stuff. Like, one seems to be abnormal, trying to fit into it, and then the other one's like just himself, and people just haven't caught on. And then you got the other friends who are just kind of like there in the background. Then you got the reporter storyline. So it's like, man, all the traits that you would see in this genre of movies all rummed into one.
Yeah.
But what good-looking people, and then like an actual straightforward plot about this Ghostface, because no one knows who this person is. Like, Woodsboro's been cool for like generations, so you're seeing the beginning of everything. And I also like the intensity between the actor, like when he was asking the questions and things like that. It was like some good questions, because like it was certain things that people would forget if you haven't watched. He was like,
what did he say? What was it, Jason? He was like, who was the murderer? Who was the villain?
Yeah, I was
wrong. Like, it was his mother. Like, oh shit,
you tricked her, bro.
Yeah.
But lucky for you, there's a bonus round. I was like, yo, see, you gotta know the story. You never know.
and
that was tight.
This movie's ahead of its time. It most definitely is, because it still holds up. If it holds up in 2020, that's something to say.
Yeah. Oh, we're getting part 5 next year. They're gonna start filming it.
I heard Courtney Cox is coming back.
Yeah. So I'm gonna revisit all this again, but yeah, it was a turning point, because now seeing where the series is going and going back to this, I think like when this worked and people figured out what it was, it was kind of like, oh, other directors looked at this and was like, we can make these kind of movies again in the 90s. Because at a point, it was like people were trying to figure out what to make to bring the genre back, because the 80s had everything on lock. Everything was being done. Invasion movies, monster movies and stuff. Scream came out of nowhere during the, you know, the TV era of, like, you know, good-looking teenagers, sitcoms and stuff like that.
That's the way to do it, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, so it was like, how do we reinvent it? And it was just cool. It's like, just make it like a real-world villain. And I just love the time that they took to really do this, because you had people from different backgrounds bringing this story to life. You know, everybody felt real, even though the screenwriter, man, you know, he had his knowledge and his information. And I feel like we would have never gotten this Scream if it wasn't for Wes Craven and Kevin Williamson. They are the hearts of this. You had his amazing directing. You had this man's brilliant writing. Like, basically,
peanut butter and jelly, baby.
Basically talking about people that really exist in the real world. You know, you got the film geeks, you know what I'm saying? You got crazy people in the real world. You got reporters who are actually, like, bitchy and things like that.
Yep.
You got the girlfriend next door that just chooses to not acknowledge the situation, but understands that, you know, these things could happen. So everybody played true to somebody that you could know and could exist. Very meta, like, very open world.
Dope.
Like, it was tight, man.
Most definitely, man.
And some of my favorite scenes was the one,
we hitting the scenes, y'all. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Let it loose.
The video store, bro. When that was tight. When he showed up and he was like, man, if you were innocent in all this stuff, would you hang out in the horror section? And he was like, if people watch Prom Night, it will save them time. Everybody's a suspect. And then Stu was trying to play it off like, oh yeah, he was smoking too much. And this fool came up from behind him, all weirded out and stuff. And I'm like, you gave yourself away, bro. He was
you
like,
gave yourself away.
Yeah.
Out of all the scenes in the movie, he goes to the video store.
Yeah.
Joe, you were a bona fide video movie buff, bro. God damn.
Remake.
Bro. This fool Joe said the video store.
Oh yeah, bro. That was the scene for me.
I get it. It's funny coming from you.
Oh yeah.
Joe says his favorite part, the video store.
Oh yeah.
If y'all know Joe, he stay in a video store.
I do.
God damn.
That scene spoke to me. It really did. It spoke to me.
That's funny, man.
Yeah, and then he's looking at Stu, and Randy looks at him. He's like, man, you telling me that that's not a killer?
He's still trying to figure that out.
Yeah. He's like, you're right. If I was here, I would be a suspect too. I would be a part of the Millennium. He was like, yeah, Millennium. I like that. And he just looked at him like, you telling me? Like, come on, bro. You know what it is. Like,
all right, I'm gonna keep it a buck with you, man. Everything that led up to Ghostface, I thought was dope. I love the voice. You want to tell a gang? Don't you ever hang the phone up on me? I'm like, oh,
cut you like a fish. Understand?
He's getting mad. Like, yo, like, you know, it showed the comedic factor.
Wait a minute, I thought we were gonna go out.
You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, that was dope.
Don't you ever hang the phone up on me? Like, what the fuck? She was like, no, I'm scared. Don't you ever hang the phone? You know what I mean?
They have 900 numbers for that.
You know what I'm saying? And it was unique.
Popcorn. And I was like, okay, all right. I see what you're doing. Wes.
She was gonna watch popcorn flicks with her boyfriend, movie flicks with her boyfriend with the popcorn. And they flipped the script. I love it.
Start watching them. Okay. All right.
There you go.
Yeah.
So, but one of the scenes that really I thought was like, yo, and I know I'm gonna skip around because this movie is like that, man. You know.
Yeah.
But when she finally gave the coochie up to the killed her mother.
Right.
God damn, that shit's crazy.
Yeah.
Just the reveal of it. Because she didn't, but she felt weird.
She was
a little off. She was
satisfied, but she's like, all right, there could have been more.
But was she really satisfied? Unless he really wasn't.
She wasn't.
She was like.
But she played it as if she was. Yeah.
So it's kind of like, she was like, that was it? Like, this nigga weak, or I feel a little off.
But then she started thinking about other factors start coming into play, because like maybe he wasn't in that zone, or maybe he was just.
Because he was like, you still questioning me?
Right.
And then it got different. Like, that was something like, yo, this motherfucker, man.
And she still, because Sydney's a smart, wholesome girl. Like, so she didn't want to play the obvious. But he started throwing signs, and I don't know whether she knew like he was serious or if he could have been playing. Like it was good acting because he was like, he got in her face and was literally like, what do I have to do to prove that I'm not a killer? Straight face. Ghostface shows up. It's like, wait a minute. Wait.
Exactly.
What? Okay.
And then he pops up on that shit, man.
Yeah.
All right, because I don't want to go to the end act, man. What other scene you got? Because I know
when they had the party, and they were watching the movies from the video store. And Randy orchestrated that. He was the party anchor. He was running that shit.
It was watching Halloween.
Yeah.
Yep. They were watching Halloween.
How come Jamie Lee Curtis is in all these movies? It was prom night. They had what was the other one? Terror Train.
Yeah.
Jamie Lee didn't have the tits until she went legit. Like Trading Places in '83, and that was the actual movie where she first showed her breast too.
He is
expert,
really into it.
Yeah, he came in there, and you're getting the climactic moment.
Luke Joe's funny,
but they're watching the setup as we're watching the setup.
Yeah,
another meta scene. Like it was brilliant.
Yeah, because, I noticed that. That's real talk.
And then it got broken down. This is the iconic moment. You guys don't know the rules. You don't know the rules. There is a formula to this.
And great observation, because we're going to talk about the rules at the very end of this.
Yeah.
Because that had me laughing.
That was tight.
That had me laughing at the end. See, man, look, all right, let's talk about
Courtney. That's why I go to the middle. That's why I went to the middle.
Let's go to Courtney Cox real quick.
Gail Weathers. Iconic Gail.
The whole...
Yeah, she was tight.
Gail Swallows. So, it's funny because watching her character, by my ass, she was very gorgeous in this movie. And her and Doofy, you know what I'm saying? Or Dewey, my bad. I call
Dewey Riley.
Doofy was on Scary Movies. Dewey. So, it's funny because watching them, you kind of see, she was kind of using him, but she kind of seen something in him.
Yeah.
She saw something, like...
Because he was a fan of that show.
Yeah.
Oh, you watched?
Oh, yeah. So how she played up, she set everything up. She was a very dedicated reporter.
Oh yeah, she go for that fight for that story.
And then seeing the whole situation when, Sydney comes to the truck because her and Dewey is out there doing their own thing and all that shit like that. He almost get run over and shit, which was crazy. Like, yo, they was gonna run him over.
They didn't care.
What kind of kids are these? But anyway, so then when she arrives and her cameraman is dead because Ghostface gets to him and shit. He got it worse, man. I would have stayed in my truck.
Oh my god, 30-second lag.
Came out, cutting motherfuckers up.
Yo.
And then when she gets in that car and like she freaks out because that was great horror. She was like, "Oh no!"
Yeah.
Runs right into a tree.
Epic.
With that said, let's go on and get to this ending of this movie because that's literally the best part.
Sydney, Jesus, we gotta get the fuck out of here. He did it.
Oh, before his sister.
Yeah.
Well, he killed his girlfriend. Was that him that killed his girlfriend, or was that the boyfriend?
That was Stu.
Stu killed his girlfriend.
Tatum, yeah. Got her.
She dumb though. Now that was stupid.
Can I play helpless victim?
She was fighting back though. I give her that.
Yeah.
But for you to go into a dog door or something, and then not try to pull yourself out, she kept trying to go for it. Like I'm trying to figure out. I'm trying to figure out. Like she was like, she was like, no.
I understand though. That was retarded.
Like who does that?
Jesus Christ.
She could have pulled herself out.
That was stupid, but
that was pushed back.
I understand. I understand though. That's why I couldn't regulate.
She wasn't even a big girl.
No, she wasn't.
She didn't even have big old titties.
Scary Movie made fun of that shit.
Yeah, because that's dumb.
Yeah.
Like she could have shot out of that.
Yeah, easy.
She was slim.
Oh my god.
She wasn't even heavy.
I don't know.
Like who does that?
I think that was for dramatic effect.
That was dumb.
Yeah.
And then she just sitting out there, and then Sydney gets knocked out the window.
Yo.
She
in the attic. Oh yeah.
Yo.
That was crazy.
But that's horror 101, right?
Yeah. But see, Scream acknowledges that. That's clever. Like it's happening, and we're aware of it. But all right, there's rules, so they're going by the rules, and then more stuff unravels the unravel of the whole mystery. Was when he got that phone call right before he came into the room, and he's like, "Give me the gun." He's like, "Let me get in there." And Randy was the only one that always suspected it. Knowledge, he knew, and he turns around and is like, "We all go a little mad sometimes." Now, here's the thing I was always still talking about.
Yeah.
Was there motivation, or did he not care about the motivation to that point?
I think there was motivation.
Okay.
I think because the whole plot and plan was...
So one of them had motivation, the other one just...
It was crazy.
He was just there for the cause. All right. Okay, cool.
He was more of...
Tight.
I need somebody... If this do go down, I need somebody to pin the murder on.
Scarier. Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
The head honcho, the boyfriend, was smarter than...
Billy Loomis was the one running the...
Yeah.
Stu was the side man.
Yeah. That's why he kept pulling his tongue out and shit.
That reveal was tight.
Bro.
We all go in the middle of May. Randy was like, oh, and I knew it. I took that bullet. He knew.
He didn't die, did he?
Nah.
Okay. Yeah, because he was like, yeah.
Randy's iconic, man.
You know, it's funny because when after the whole thing go down, she loses her virginity to him, all that stuff like that, and then the reveal comes, and we find out it's two of them. That's me. That's when, as a viewer, I'm excited. I'm like, I know it was two of them motherfuckers. It had to be two. It had to be because he was just around too much.
Yeah.
I mean, they killed the principal and stuff. Like, yo, like things are going down all the time. But it also leaves it open to, were they the only two?
Right.
There probably was only two there.
Right.
But who killed the principal? You know what I mean? Like it left it open.
Of course.
Like there's other, like I think
also part of the formula.
I think it was like, yo, that's because, like I said, he's immortal. He can be anything. It's like a V for Vendetta idea.
And this is like in the time of Hollywood and things like that. So
exactly.
Things going on. People trying to get stories and headlines. Everybody trying to make or break, get something, and capitalize off of something.
The best part of this movie is when he revealed his motives. I was like, oh shit.
Anthony Perkins.
He was
Psycho.
like, he was like, she was like, you guys did this to kill my mom. He was like, no, your mom was a fucking whore who was sleeping with my father, and why my mom left, so I killed her. God damn. And then they took his dad. Like, it was funny because no one could find her dad.
Right.
Like, where's this nigga at?
He was on a trip, and they got to him. Yeah.
They got him.
That was wild.
And what makes the breadcrumbs is
everything came back to the home.
He knew the dad was leaving because he hopped in the window.
Right.
So he had our old boy watching already.
Yes.
Like, the plan was solid.
Yeah.
This is a great plan. And then it was going to put it on the father.
Right.
But what really got
That's
it was...
put the recorder in his jacket. Yeah.
Her mother was cheating on her dad with his father.
Yeah.
And the mom found out and bounced.
Yeah.
Right?
And was messing with the other guy, Cotton, the one that was on death row.
Right?
Yeah, Cotton Weary.
So then, what makes it even sweeter, because I don't think they acknowledged it, but I don't think the mother, quite frankly, got. I think the mother, her daughter's boyfriend.
Possible. Yeah, possible.
And he killed her.
Because he didn't know what to do.
Because he said, your mother was a whore around town. Everybody was in that.
Yeah.
I think the mom that's why she felt weird. Like, this dick has been tainted. Cause she was like,
that makes sense.
Yo, cause the mom was then killed.
Yeah.
Quote unquote.
Right.
Mom was messing with a younger guy, messing with an older guy. Her daughter's boyfriend is handsome.
Mom was Hollywood for sure.
I think mom had the boyfriend, and that's how they got her and killed her.
Yeah. Okay.
That's what I got from that. I was like, yo,
yeah.
I think.
It's interesting you say that, like almost like you've seen that story or something, because we really don't get a lot of information on that, but you got to watch the sequels though, because it goes into oh my god, you got to watch the other ones.
Okay.
But with that being said, you are onto something. I don't want to say any more on that, because when you see the other ones, you thought you went down the rabbit hole in this one, bro. So the stuff you mentioned right now factors into those other installments.
Dope. Now I definitely got to finish it up.
But yeah, you're onto something right there, because right now it's kind of simplistic. You know what I'm saying? So there was a motive clearly for one of the guys. For Billy, it was definitely a motive. For Stu, he was just there as backup for his friend. And I love how he explained what the evidence on his body was, because Sidney really thought it was blood. He was like, this is the same blood they used for Carrie. This is pig's blood.
Yeah.
And he's like scratching his head, and he's like, Anthony Perkins, Psycho. She didn't know who the Norman Bates was. But he watched Psycho.
Yeah.
And he's like, did Michael Myers have a motive? Did Hannibal Lecter have one? No. We're just crazy. We love movies.
We love movies. Which is scary, because we love movies too.
Stu comes out, surprised Sidney. Hey, what's the matter? You look like you seen a ghost.
He's like, oh shoot. And he started talking fast on it again.
I guess I'm gonna die.
That was that, and then and how they stabbed each other, pin the murder on the pops, and then old boy was like losing blood and shit.
They basically told their plot, and it was like, you know what? That's how you gotta play the game, and those are rules. You win, you die. You guess it wrong, you die. That's it. They didn't care. That was their end game, because they were like, if I got caught, hey, I got to play my game.
And even at the end, and this is what really bona fide that I noticed more ghost. And granted, there's other movies, but even within that town, is because when Sidney put that mask on, that's what basically was the stamp of approval. Like, anybody could be Ghostface.
Oh yeah. And then the final girl moment.
She comes out and she takes the mask off. Like, damn, she could have been Ghostface.
I like how they did foreshadowing towards the end with other horror movies, and I'm gonna kind of rewind a little bit, but it's still towards the third act.
Yeah.
When they got the phone call to the house when they were at the party, and they found out that the principal got killed and he was hung from the flagpole and all that. Yeah. And you could hear the Halloween score in the background as they were watching Halloween on the TV.
Nice.
And it integrated with what was actually happening. I thought that was dope.
Nice.
And then the same thing happened again when Sidney got the drop on him. Well, actually, Gail popped up because they thought they killed the reporter.
Yeah.
And she was talking about her plan, And
she had that motherfucking gun on safety.
Yeah. Sidney was like, yeah, I like that. And so she disappeared and put the mask on. And then you have Halloween again in the movie playing in the background when Laurie was in the closet. Yeah, same thing.
Yeah, and it's
foreshadow and everything.
And another thing, when you talk about the rules, because when Jamie Kennedy says, "Wait a minute, there's a rule." The villain usually comes back for one last final blow. Yeah, that nigga got back. Bow! I was like, oh shit.
Not in my movie. Yeah, that was tight.
That was a Clint Eastwood moment right there.
Oh yeah.
I love that. That was dope.
We expect
that was dope.
But it's like, now what are they gonna do?
Because he really came back.
Yeah.
Bow! I loved it, man. I loved it.
Psycho adrenaline was going through him, and then that whole thing when they were stabbing each other up to try to make themselves look guilty to have some type of evidence or alibi. And he was like, man, you know what? No, psychos make us more creative. I can't take anymore, man. I'm woozy.
They was literally stabbing them. That's some white people shit.
Billy did not care, bro. He was gonna kill Stu.
Oh yeah, he was going ham with that.
He was like, man, give me the knife. He said, nah, man, nah, no more.
This shit hurts, man.
Houston, we have a problem here. I had the gun. It was right there.
See, that's what I'm saying, man. Dude was corny, bro. He was so corny, dude. He was so corny.
You panty ass mama's boy. What are you gonna do? You sick fuck bitch. Where the fuck are you? I'm gonna kill you. You gotta find me first. Find me, you dipshit. Get up,
bro. They were ham, bro. Like that.
They was really like, I'm in trouble. He had that. My mom's gonna find out I cut class today.
Right. And he was scared of his parents.
He was scared.
He was scared of his parents, man.
Did you really call the cops on his parents? What are you gonna tell him? Billy has a motive. What do you have? Peer pressure.
No,
oh my God.
He should have said, "I'm white." That would have been real right there. I'm white.
My parents are gonna be so mad.
Yeah, that was great. It also, old boy really reminds me a lot of on Veronica Mars. They had like a little sequence with that too in the show.
Yeah.
Where it was like the rich kids, the two rich brothers.
Yeah.
And one of them died. You ever watch Veronica Mars?
I haven't, but I'm aware of it.
I don't want to spoil it, but it's something like that.
Similar situation, right?
Rich
but
kid.
You talked about it though.
Jock, all that stuff like that, and
I like
everything
Kristen
like
Bell,
that.
Though.
Oh yeah, gorgeous. She would have been a great Supergirl.
And she's in Scream also.
Yeah, I'm going to catch up with it. So with that said, man, Scream, man. Let's give this movie a grade. I'm
gonna let you go first since you saw it for the first time.
I really don't have any issues with the movie at all. I actually really enjoyed the film. It was funny. It was daring. You could tell they took chances with it.
Oh yeah.
And just the acting, it wasn't too cliche to a degree, because it was actually the icing on the cake for me.
It was the purpose behind the cliche.
It was. Yeah, because it's a horror movie. It's in the 90s, but
they were actually acknowledging it.
it was that plot, man.
Yeah.
That plot was just dope, man. Your mom was a whore. She's the reason why my mom left. Your mom ruined my life, and he slept with the girl, and he's the guy who killed the mom. Good. That shit's deep.
It's crazy, right?
That would F someone up.
Yeah.
Like, I lost my virginity to the guy who was sleeping with my mom, who killed my mother, who tried to kill me and my father. Pinned him. Oh, my.
Everything kind of came back to, like, love and betrayal, in a sense.
Yep.
All in the midst of this small town, and then you got the Hollywood scene trying to get the inside scoop on it, so it's blowing it up into proportion. Now Ghostface has become part of the cultural phenomenon because of this incident.
Yeah.
Now they're gonna try to make stories off of this and things like that.
Yeah.
Wait till you get to the sequels, bro.
So
this is the floodgate right here.
I really enjoyed it. I had a lot of fun with it. This is probably one of the best horror slasher films I've ever seen.
Dope.
I'm gonna give this movie an A-. Straight.
All right.
A-.
For me, man, it was great revisiting it. I'm actually surprised and excited that Jay just watched this for the first time, though. So that's dope hearing that perspective.
Yeah, ow!
You guys pretty much know where I stand. I love this movie, man, and I can't wait for the next one to come out. And this movie is well written, it's well directed, it's well acted. It acknowledges the genre for those that are new to it and for those who are not really into it. But it creates a space to where you can get comfortable and learn the genre by watching this movie. Yeah. And if you just want to see a great piece of a resurrection of the slasher genre and just cinema, I think this is a great movie to watch and study due to its writing, its directing, its pacing, its camera work. Everything works full-fledged. And this movie comes and it hits hard. It's like no joking around. Like they come in and you get from point A to point B. I love Scream. This is an A+ movie for me. I just love what it did, and it saved the slasher genre. It did so much.
It's a real good movie.
It came out at a perfect time.
Real good movie, man.
Scream is important.
Real good movie.
Great movie.
I really enjoyed it, man. Hope you guys enjoyed Retro Rewind.
Yes.
Slasher Scream Edition. If you're new to the channel, go ahead and push that subscribe button. Thumbs this video up. Do not forget to share. Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. I'm J3.
Ronin Shogun, the Ninja Assassin.
And we out.